Hey, good people, this is part two of movies of 2024 that I really like. Here we go. Starting off with the banger, the underrated movie Book of Clarence, starring Lakeith Stanfield, directed by James Samuel. This movie really touched me. It was a story about a guy, he was a street level dude that wanted to make something of himself, and he saw how Jesus was doing and all the disciples, and he decides maybe he should be a prophet. This movie is really touching. It was surreal. A lot of people thought it was against Christianity, but really it supported the idea of Christianity and the idea of just the story of Jesus. But it was really about a man that was trying to find himself. But one thing that kills me, and maybe I want to talk about this more, is that Book of Clarence should have gotten as much attention as Sinners. It was just as good, very surreal, very creative, but it just didn't get any traction last year. Babe, starring Ilana Glazer and Michelle Buteau. This was a good comedy from last year. I saw it on one of AMC's Screen Unseen. Ilana Glazer plays a woman who kind of has things together, but also is a little bit of a mess. But she's free to live on her own and everything. And she's friends with Michelle, who is pregnant at the moment. What happens? Ilana also gets pregnant. Things turn around and their friendship kind of struggles through it. This was just a quirky comedy that I really liked. Let's flip over to a little interest in horror last year that came out, Heretic, starring Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, and Chloe East. Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East, they are witnesses of Mormons, and they're going around talking to people. They come across Hugh Grant. He's very interested in religion, but things turn really dark when Hugh Grant wants to show them what religion's all about. Although I think it could have ended a little bit different, the gist of the movie played out in an interesting way. Another thriller that was really good last year, Speak No Evil, James McAvoy. There's no better thing than to have him playing an evil villain. And when did James McAvoy start working out? He is killing the weights. Four words for this movie: love, sex, murder, and fitness. Love Lies Bleeding, starring Kristen Stewart, was a good thriller. Also starring Katie O'Brien and Ed Harris. The dynamics of it were really good. It was an interesting movie. It was shot well, and the performances were decent. This is definitely one of my favorite movies from last year. American Fiction, starring Jeffrey Wright, also starring Sterling Brown, Erica Alexander, and Tracy Ellis Ross. Jeffrey Wright plays an older gentleman that writes historical fiction, but his agent keeps telling him that publishers want him to write black-centered material, and he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to be put in a box because of his ethnicity. After being ticked off at the books that are coming out, particularly from Issa Rae, he decides to write a joke book about the hood and about experiences in the hood and being an ex-con, and the book takes off. It's supposed to be a joke, but now he's caught up in being seen as this other character. I love the humor in this, and Jeffrey Wright plays the perfect lead in the movie. Plus, the cast is outstanding. Hey, this was a really underrated action movie, and if you're a fan of Henry Cavill, you do want to check out The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Henry Cavill plays a character in the British Army that does things in a very questionable way, but he's a perfect person for a mission to take out supply boats that are supplying the German army. And when he puts his team together of other rogue characters, it's just a full-on action film. This movie reminds you of classic films like Bridge to Navarone and Dirty Dozen. It's really entertaining to me. There y'all go. That's part two of my list of movies from 2024 that I really liked. Let me know in the comments if you saw any of these or if you never heard of them and you'd like to see them. I'll talk to you guys later.